For a more in-depth look at ISIL, I spoke with Douglas Smith about Islamic extremism in the Balkans. He's a former member of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and he served as an advisor in the Clinton and Obama administrations. I asked him how long the Balkans have been a hotbed for activity.
I think you could probably date this back actually to about 1990, and when the Russians pulled out of Afghanistan and the Mujahideen fighters were looking for a new place to spread their mischief, if you will, and they began to move into that region. Now we've seen a lot of history in that time, the wars there, Kosovo, Balkans, etc. I think the challenge now is that it's a great transit point, and that's where we're beginning to see the real issue as they transit through there across land borders through Turkey into Syria.
So that seems to be the problem, that the borders are fluid there?
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that, they can drive. I mean, they don't have to get on a plane. And unfortunately, we've seen this for a number of years through Turkey. The Turks' position seems to be as long as you keep moving through and don't stop, they're not hindering their progress. And that's a real challenge and something that we continue to work with.
What would be their incentive for joining this fight?
I think one of the challenges is that, disgruntled. I mean, they've been there, they've been living through a tough period of time over the last 10 years. And while it's a very small percentage of the Islamic fundamentalists that are coming out of the region, to them, it's, they're part of a cause. And, ISIS is, if you want to be in an Islamic fundamentalist state right now, that's kind of the story of the day. And that's where they're flocking to. But I want to emphasize, it's still a very, very minor number of the population, but it is still something to track.
And how are they recruiting them?
I think a couple different ways. I mean, social media is clearly one. I think mainstream media is another one. Many of these fighters that are being recruited are unemployed. They're sitting there looking for a cause to join up with, and they see this as their great ability. The generation before saw it in Afghanistan, and now this is their opportunity to join the war.
We know that Bosnia has taken a stand enacting a law to send convicted Islamist fighters and recruiters to prison for 10 years. Is this really a deterrent at all? Is it working?
I don't know if it's a deterrent as much as I think a hopeful sign. I think after many, many years of wars in this region, this actually could be the thing that bring these 6 or 7 countries together. They're all banding together, recognizing this as a shared threat to all of them. So one of the interesting effects will be that all these governments are working together. About 6 months ago, the German chancellor invited them all to Germany to talk about this. So it's actually, if anything, helping to create a stronger set of laws to prevent them from joining ISIS.
Where do you see ISIS going next?
Well, I think that's the $100,000 question, as they say. I think a lot of these fighters, they go, it's sort of your roof of your house. When it rains, rain has an amazing ability to find that one tiny little hole. And I think, unfortunately, for this very, very small sect of fundamentalists, they're going to track to the next location. I think, hopefully, to the United States and others, probably not as likely. But as we look at unrest in the region of the Middle East, I think they will continue to move around there.
Douglas Smith joining us from Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you so much.